Ryan.
Ryan, I'm Mike.
Nice to meet you, man. You got a really cool rig here. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, so it's a 55 Willys wagon. Basically, just the body is the wagon at this point. Everything else is junkyard parts, dump truck transmission, Dana 44 front axle, 14-bolt rear axle. It was actually a dual rear axle converted to a single rear wheel. Small block Chevy, and basically did a whole bunch of stuff to this. Chopped the front chassis off, the rail horns, and extended that about, I think it was about 10 inches. Pushed the motor back as far as I could go, about 6, and then got a little bit better wheelbase by pulling the front axle. And then it was just kind of in phases. Did the pseudo 1 ton, since this is really the 44, not the full 60, but built the drivetrain and then took that out for a year, and then realized this thing goes a little too fast to not have a cage in it. So built the cage, and actually it was my first time building the cage in these like the 50s style vehicles. They're so bubbly and rounded that it's like everything is a radius, so there's no straight anything in it. So every bend you got to terminate with another tube, and it just becomes kind of a nightmare. But it was definitely a great first trial run, and everything I've done so far, I haven't had to redo, so.
That's a good sign. That's a real good sign. Is the cage, do you think that's the hardest thing that you did in this then?
Yeah, absolutely.
How long have you been building it?
So it's been in our family for about 15 years, and then right before, 2019 was when I started it, and then all the big hard to find parts before COVID got that all done then. So I was actually able to build this on a pretty nice budget before everyone decided their $100 radiators were $5,000 now. But
right.
It's all junkyard parts pretty much. Steering box is out of a 1-ton dually. Yeah, I mean everything's just kind of an amalgamation of whatever I could find. Got weird like VW hinges and random little parts on the interior. It's got a Volvo 2-speed fan, and it's all electric.
You were telling us about the shocks earlier. You think they're actually bigger than what you needed?
A little bit. I felt like I, just got to go to the full max at all times and go to like full 16-inch stroke. But really, ideally, I'd probably go back to like a 14-inch stroke. It's fun. I mean, it goes. And my biggest worry was actually getting the rear end to keep up with the front end, and actually wasn't really much of a problem with the ADS. I got big old bypasses in the rear, but it's still leaf sprung in the rear.
So you got some limiting straps so you don't go down too far.
Yeah, it's bumped and strapped with 2-inch bump stops. Those are the pneumatic ones. So, and then it's hydraulic assist just to be somewhat street friendly, and so cops don't get too mad, because actually some people and some of the police officers I've ran into know what's going on when they look at, they like it. They're like, hey, this is great, but you need to put mud flaps, and I had a buddy who's got full hydraulic, and they're like, you can't do that. And I'm like, okay.
They are sketchy to drive on the road too. I've done that.
Touchy.
It's super sketchy. So what do we have power in it here?
So it's basically a stock 1960s 283 small block.
Okay.
So it was what I was told when we got it. The motor actually came with it, and they said it was out of a Corvette. I don't know, whatever, but it goes. Yeah.
It runs, and it runs strong.
I mean, even if I put a little 6-cylinder in it, it's okay, but it's just all about gearing at this point.
One thing that really drew us to it is that it's not just built for show. There's all kinds of features on this vehicle that you can see are built to be used, and that's what we like. We like to build something that is fun to drive, fun to use, and like you said, you built this over time. You built it with a bunch of junkyard parts. If you got an old vehicle sitting around, get out there and build it. It doesn't take $1 million like some of these Ferraris around here to go build something.
Oh, absolutely. Everything's kind of done on an economical budget. I mean, really, my biggest expenses are tires, fuel at this point, and honestly, I wanted fuel injection. You got to have fuel injections. If you go anything beyond like the angle of like going over a curb or greater than that, you need fuel injection.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks for
absolutely.
the interview. Thanks for letting us check it out. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.